We made it back. We gotta go back. And you made it. You made it back to the show. To the show that you know. Every 7 days or so, we talk about Sonic the Hedgehog and associated interests with our friends. I'm Grant, one of Team Sonic Weekly, bringing this program to your ears and maybe eyes. And with us again, the impresario of the 32-bit generation, Bo. Hi, Bo.
Feed me up. I am happy to be talking about Sonic with friends again.
Glad to have you here. Glad to have you back. And you know what? He's going to go into the spotlight, out from the shadows where he is currently, but we're taking him with a cane, like a candy cane, a holiday candy cane. We're yanking him, not assaulting him, but like yanking him gently, bringing him to the stage and saying, "Welcome, David the Lurker." Hi, David.
Whoa, hi, Grant, hi, Bo. Yeah, that's right. That's like the opposite of, oh man, what's his name? Snagglepuss, exit stage right, but he's coming out. He's not leaving. It's the opposite. Enter stage right or stage left. I don't know. Hanna-Barbera. It all thematically ties together, I promise.
We like to begin every show with the rantings of a madman. That's what we do here on Sonic Weekly. If I don't do it, then David brings it home. And we're joined by a friend this week, co-host and producer of SEGA Spirit. It's Scotty Mo. Hi, Scotty.
Hello. To quote Knuckles from that smash hit Sonic Shuffle, well, I've got nothing better to do.
All right. We love it when you've got nothing better to do, and you're not talking about Sega enough, on your own shows and streams. Now you're here, and we're going to get into Sonic Shuffle. Oh boy, gee whiz. I guess it's the holiday episode. It's the Christmas episode. We're going to skip next week, I think. That's the top story.
Yeah. Sonic did nothing else related to Christmas, so we're talking about Sonic Shuffle.
Right.
Yeah. I guess it's inevitable that we'll do Sonic Christmas Blast at some point, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I watched that last year.
Did you?
Oh.
For the first time since 96.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
I kind of liked it, yeah. Well, my memory was that Sally had more of a part, but she doesn't really even get off a line.
No.
Is Sally
she
pink?
Does say anything.
Yeah, she's kind of. Well, she starts to say something. Yeah, she's pink, right?
Yeah, she's pink. She gives Sonic the plot device, which is the ring, but that was from the year previous. So I guess he spent a year of adventures wearing that ring, and we didn't know about it, which is fine. And yeah, it isn't that weird. It is AOSTH, but there's also Robotropolis, there's Sally. It's sort of an echo of like that brief moment when AOSTH was thought of as, oh, maybe this could be a prequel to Sat AM, which lasted all of 2 seconds. Like, it's fine.
It's a weird
good.
little cartoon. I got it from the library, strangely.
Well,
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Physical media. I
Supporting the
see it on.
community.
I see it on streaming being advertised to me somehow when I turn on my PlayStation.
They know who you are.
Yeah, they do. But the plot of that is he has to rescue Santa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Robotnik has kidnapped Santa, it's taken his place, and it's reverse Christmas where everyone has to give him presents.
Oh.
That's why he's building chimneys on his roof. I don't know why he needs to do that, and he can't just take things.
Did Sonic Adventure have a Christmas download?
Oh, yeah.
It had
You
a
get a
did,
big
right?
old tree in the middle of
Yeah.
Station Square, and then
Okay.
Boys to Men start singing to you.
right.
I'm serious.
It's the acapella version of Dreams.
Good stuff.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yes. And were there 2 separate Christmas downloads? I'm trying to remember.
There was a New Year's download also. I don't know if that's maybe what you're thinking of. But I just remember the one big tree in the middle.
Yeah. No, it's
One big tree. Have we all
Man.
played Christmas Nights already this season, or is that still upcoming?
Not yet myself. I do that every year, but I do need to do it soon.
I did it today.
Whoa.
Wow. And how was that?
Yeah.
The Sonic minigame is disappointing, as I've mentioned on here before. But
You mean like
the main,
Bean Sonic?
yeah, he just doesn't run right.
Oh, well, yeah.
It doesn't quite fit the game mechanic, but it's a lovely game.
Is it possible to get an A as Sonic?
Oof.
Oh,
I don't know.
no, you're not even graded that way. I don't think it's a time attack.
Is there no grades in that?
I don't think so. No.
I can't remember. I loved playing as Sonic because I was excited to just run around that place instead of feeling rushed as the children or even as knights, really. But oh yeah, I really like Christmas Nights. It's one of my favorite video game things because there is so much more in that than anyone ever expected for a sampler disc or whatever it's called, demo disc or something.
It's totally nuts. They knew there would be zero revenue associated with it, and they just packed it full of really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. I got mine for $5 at Blockbuster one fateful night.
Ooh,
so, yeah.
That's fancy. Was it 96 or was it after?
That came out after Nights, so I think it was 97.
I thought Christmas Nights was 96.
The Christmas it came out was the same year as Main Nights.
Oh, really?
Main Nights was
Wow.
a summer game. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, like July or something. Yeah.
Right, because I think I got mine it might have been 97 off the Sega website. Ordered it $3 plus shipping.
Wow.
Might have been the first thing I bought on eBay.
Whoa.
Nice.
I didn't first play Christmas Nights until way later. Fake fan. Much more recently. I only acquired a Saturn for the first time with a Saru. It's really fun. In the past couple of years, like 2 years ago, as a Christmas gift. But Christmas Nights I played somehow, I guess. Was it on the PS3, aka PS2 remake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have the Sonic minigame in there, but the rest
they don't have
are
Sonic,
there.
but you can do. Yes. Okay,
Right.
so that would have been where? Like 10 years ago, I guess. Something like that. Yeah, at this point, like I try to make it a holiday tradition as much as like watching certain, like Home Alone or whatever, and haven't done it yet, but it seems like it's getting to be the season. And hey, now that we've talked about it, this really has been the holiday episode. Imagine if there's like Jingle Bells edited in or something like that. Wow, it's going to feel so festive.
Done.
Jingle bells. Oh, man. There should be an album, a Sonic album, with Roger Craig Smith singing Christmas carols as Sonic.
Oh,
That's a great
yeah,
idea.
I could get behind
Why
that.
haven't they done that? Yeah.
Get ready to hear the 4 Kids singing, or the 4 Kids cartoon block. Don't they sing Christmas or something every year? You see that all over social media?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's,
regrettably remembers now. Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember much more than what you just said, but I do know.
What if
that
they got the underground band back together for a Christmas album?
You really only need Jaleel White, so
Yeah.
it could happen.
Oh,
He didn't do the singing though. They had a
That's right.
vocalist for that. Yeah.
They had some local singers probably getting paid nothing, singing the best songs ever written for syndication.
Anyway, let's.
Right.
The other thing that's going on is news.
News.
And,
right. Well,
David, I even remembered some other news that I'll throw at you at some point.
At some point.
The time extension article about Naka. Did you read that one?
What?
Oh,
I didn't
jeez.
even know there was a time extension article about Naka.
Said he was frothing at the mouth, foaming at the
That's
mouth.
the headline. Foaming at the mouth, frothing at the mouth is the headline of the time extension article.
What?
Yuji Naka really didn't want Sega to make mature games, according to industry veteran Mike Fisher, who worked at Namco, Xbox, and Sega. So you should read the article. It's on time extension, as I mentioned. Basically, it's another version of that story that we've heard before, of like kind of in that Dreamcast era,
Mhm.
when the studios are operating almost as independent companies, though not quite outright independent companies. It's one of the Sega of America execs saying, Grand Theft Auto is what people want. They want,
Right.
That's what they want, and that's what you need to do. And basically he gets like laughed out of the room or like scoffed out of the room, and Yuji Naka kind of blows up. According to his perspective, of their perspective, they think of Sega as like a Disney-esque family friendly versus the Sega of America as Sega's more grown up. So Yuji Naka equates it to porn. He says,
Huh?
well, you would basically want me to make pornography
What?
to make a game more mature.
Wow.
I don't know, man. There's some pretty risque Saturn games.
Yeah.
There was some sexy set, but they never. Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't come
They
out
weren't
here.
published by
but give
Sega,
them to
but they were-
Japan. You would
They
know.
were produced by under the license of.
Yeah. Come on, Naka. That's a little extreme. I guess he's just living a wild time. He's living a wild life.
Foaming at the mouth, though, is a strangely specific detail. Like, have you ever seen a person actually foam at the mouth?
That's usually when you call 911.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about like just maybe little bits of spit that were, you know, unfortunately on his mouth. But it is a weird pot shot. It's like a weird sucker punch of like, yeah, and another thing. He was gross. Like not only did he not like my idea, he also
had rabies. He had an active rabies infection.
He drooled constantly. Yeah, you didn't work with him. You don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Naka's perspective or the Sega of Japan perspective on this conversation. Yeah. But I mean, arguably they do. Like the guy admits at the end of the article of like, well, the Yakuza Like a Dragon games are essentially what he was telling them to do, and they Nagoshi and RGG eventually do that. And then ironically now, this year at the Game Awards, no longer part of Sega.
No.
And now it's what is it? It's called it's not called Like a Dragon. It's called
Dragon
Gang of Dragons.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
I didn't think it was a real title when I saw it during the Game Awards. That's really...
Gang of Dragon is right.
Oh, right. Speaking of the Game Awards, we didn't mention this last week in our explosive coverage of nothing happening with Sega. Technically, Sega got all those awards for Game of the Year because who distributed Club Time 33? I mean, Claire Obscure Expedition 33? Why Sega? Sega in Japan, not here.
Oh,
only in Japan. So they can put that on the wall.
Nice.
We technically won. We didn't win.
Well, that was the news I was going to throw you. Is the latest Yuji Naka news.
The latest, right? We got to get him on the show.
Talking about Naka. I agree. We got to give him a platform to respond to some of these allegations.
2026 is going to be the year of Naka, and we're going to get him on here.
I think you should. Can I add to that, though? Or something else that was mentioned in the article was that Naka's defense, I read it and now I can't remember if he said this or if someone else said it or whatever, but that in Naka's defense, the games he was making, they were selling just fine, and they were the Disney-esque that he wanted. So I don't know if that lent to his anger of not wanting to change his idea of what a good game is or whatever, but just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. I think I think our point of view executive does attribute that to Naka. And he would be right. I mean, his games were successful and like wholesome. Although it's weird to think of them as wholesome because we're always comparing it to Mario, who's even more wholesome. So Sonic seems relatively edgy in comparison. And Shadow 05, speaking of edgy, is like another example of Naka, Sega of Japan, doing a quote unquote mature game. It had, it was dumb. It was insane. But, some people love parts of it. I've never played all of it. That's a whole other thing. I think David has played every ending. I wouldn't doubt it if I'm the only one that hasn't out of us.
I beat it once and that was enough.
Okay.
I did the whole gauntlet, and I did expert mode as well. So I've experienced all of Shadow. Not all 326 pathways. Maybe someday.
Wow. Fake fan.
But yeah, I guess that wasn't meant to be our top story. Our top story is actually something else that I also have yet to engage in. Whoops. This is good. I'm really on top of the news.
Playing Shadow.
I'm on top of the news.
You're still just watching TV. You need to play TV.
I need to play TV. That's right. The Video Game History Foundation, which has existed for a few years, run by Frank Cifaldi and a few other persons. They released this huge hour-long retrospective about the Sega Channel, along with over 100 ROMs, 100 games that were part of the service, including games that were thought lost, like Garfield, The Lost Levels. Whoa, we got it. Garfield caught in the act, The Lost Levels, that is. Oh, the Flintstones? Hey, what's this? Even a Genesis web browser? That's right, I'm reading the copy on sonicstadium.org where we gleefully read all of our news. And finished games, prototypes, menus, the whole shebang, an hour-long video. I forgot to watch it. The Video Game History Foundation, they've done other Sega things. Was it last year? Or was it earlier this year? The Sonic 2 stuff?
Yeah.
With the which was pretty fun. It's out. I didn't watch it.
Okay, David, shame on you. I don't know. You got to stop mentioning that you didn't watch it. So shame. I'm casting shame at you. You got to watch it. But I watched it. Bo, I know, watched it. Scotty, I know, watched it. I want to talk about it at least a little bit because I guess I just want to say one thing, which is I'm curious if anybody had the Sega Channel. I don't.
I wish.
But I thought it was the coolest thing.
I genuinely can't remember if I owned it or not because when it was out, like I was at a friend's house every morning before school. Like, because I don't know, for whatever reason, we went to a friend's house to then go to the bus stop. So I was like always there in the morning. They definitely had Sega Channel. So I don't know if I actually ever had it, but I played it a bunch. Like that's where I played Ristar first. That's where I played Sparkster, probably Comic Zone. The big stuff on there. So
right, I wanted it. I only saw it in person because sometimes my mother would pay the cable bill at the cable office. Like she'd go in person instead of mailing it in, and they'd have it set up in a corner. So I would go over there and be like, "Oh wow, but you can't do much while your mother's paying a bill." And she's like, "Okay, we're gone." I think the reason they told me no, you can't get it is because the Sega Genesis was in my room and there wasn't a cable hookup in my room, and they refused. They're like, "We're not paying for another cable hookup to go in your room, and we're not putting this in the living room, so you're out of luck."
That's when you should have been like, "What about the hallway?"
I definitely knew about Sega Channel, but only through the magazine. Specifically, I think it was Sega Visions, I want to say. The cover was Knuckles bursting through a brick wall. If I'm remembering right, I might be mixing memories. But in either case, there was a magazine write-up that made it look amazing. It's the coolest idea I've ever heard of. It's like the fact that it didn't work that well.
So far ahead of its time, though.
Yeah. Astoundingly. Again, to like a painful degree for Sega.
It's like the Xbox Game Pass, or like everyone has it, everyone uses it, same thing, right?
Yep.
But for games you'd kind of be interested in. Every time I've signed up for I like never used Game Pass. I would sign up for it and be like, "Oh, I'm going to play this stuff," and then I would just resort to my old habits of playing Sonic games over and over because there's something going on there.
Because he's cool. It's the coolest game that's ever been made.
Because he's the coolest, wholesome Disney character.
100%.
Who goes fast. And the games are just really fun. And you could play some Sonic games, I think, on Sega Channel.
Yeah, one of the things that got rescued in
Spinball?
in this batch is the special 2-part version of Sonic 3D Blast. So these downloads were split into parts. And so there's this variant of 3D Blast on Genesis that has a part 1 and a part 2.
Right. Wow. So you have to put in a password, right, for part 2?
Yeah, it's like a code to get in.
How would you get that if you had Sega Channel? Like, I'm so confused by this idea.
I think you had to like write it down after you finished part 1. And
right. They would give you a password. You write it down. Yeah. Apparently, the password system made for Sega Channel later reused for the director's cut that John Burton made. Yeah, like years later, he went back.
I guess they must have been involved then.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like. It was something they were asked to do. They did it.
There was also a bunch of marketing documents that they shared, which was really cool to see. Just kind of like gives you some insight into how business speak has and hasn't changed. For example, and they point this out in the video, one of their stated goals for Sega Channel is to eventually have 75 to 100% of all people, or maybe at least all Genesis owners, to subscribe to Sega Channel. They admit that that's a lofty goal, but they have to be, that's where their sights have to be set. We didn't have Sega Channel, not because my parents didn't love me, although that could also, notice we had satellite and not cable. We had like the old original satellite that was like huge and like made tons of noise as
giant
it like turned.
Dish. Yeah.
Giant dish, completely insane. But Sega Channel limited. So I think it wasn't until more recently that I've met online or heard the stories of those with the Sega Channel.
Yeah, I never lived in a place that would have such a service. I lived out in the sticks.
This is an amazing work of preservation, though, because like I was just gushing about this to my wife, and I was like, "Did I ever tell you about Sega Channel?" And she's like, "I think so." And she was being nice and saying yes, but I'm sure I have, and I'm sure she didn't care then. Not that she doesn't. She does play video games and stuff, but I was just like, no, this is a thing where how would you have ever historically captured this? It's the same as like vanilla World of Warcraft. Like it's such a thing in the ether, in the culture, that is not had no physical representation except for this thing that you cannot. Well, you can use it now. Other people have it, like ways that you can get them working and stuff, but it's such an amazing thing that they got all this together.
Yeah, people are still researching the ROMs and trying to figure out all of the provenance of the stuff. It's an ongoing effort.
Real quick really detour on this idea. Sega Saturn had a netlink. Obviously, Dreamcast was online, but Saturn also had online capabilities. Is that correct?
Yeah. I played Saturn Bomberman online at least once.
That's the one title I know that works with it. Were there others?
Bo probably knows best, but Duke Nukem was another one, I think.
Yeah, there's a handful of Netlink games, more in Japan, of course. There was the first console multiplayer RPG called Dragon's Dream, came out in Japan for the specialized Japanese internet service. And it's almost completely lost media. I hacked into the title screen a year or two ago, which had not been seen in 30 years. But
Virtual On. Cool. Sorry.
Yeah, Virtual On.
It wasn't until Dreamcast that I went online with a Sega console. We did have 56K, and it was for a brief time. SegaNet was the only internet service provider in my house. It was just in my bedroom. I had IRC chat, and I was browsing message boards and playing WAV files of Penny Lane by the Beatles where I could find it. And I was going online and playing games like NFL 2K1 against other people, and they would type messages because I also had the Sega keyboard. I'm still desperate to find a affordable version of Typing of the Dead someday. Someday. It's just cool that all of like the three major Master System, the three like major, to me, Sega consoles, all having online capabilities is pretty neat.
It is, yeah.
And the Genesis is maybe the coolest console to ever exist. The add-ons, David, are additive. Yeah. Okay, maybe they were like a step backwards business-wise. Maybe they, shot themselves in the foot. Somebody could make a video about that someday. I don't know. But they're add-ons. They make it better if everything's $0 and everything's equal, which it's not, and we don't live in that reality. Anyway, so yeah, you should watch that video. Sega Channel's awesome. That's really cool that you got to experience it a bit growing up, Scotty. And is there any other news? I don't know if there is.
Not really. I guess Surge is in Sonic Rumble. That's like, so if anyone's still on the Rumble train, I don't know if anyone here, if anyone here was ever really on the Rumble train. I know we played Rumble in our season premiere, but has anyone?
I have not booted it up since, but the music is a permanent fixture to me. Like they really knocked it out of the park with that soundtrack.
Right. You've been playing it every night, right?
So no, I haven't been playing Sonic Rumble, but I have been playing Sonic. Sega Ages Sonic 1, the Mega Play arcade version.
Ooh.
We got talking about it in the Discord, and then I was like, oh yeah, that is pretty cool that exists. It's like, it's Sonic 1, except you take out Marble Zone and you take out Labyrinth Zone. And then instead of the timer going up to 10, it's counting down from like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And that time limit is pretty tight in Spring Yard Act 3 because I've fallen there a fair bit. I've accidentally taken too long with like taking the wrong route, getting stuck in some elevators, getting crushed, being careless. It's a fun challenge. And then there's a mode where you just do it with one life. And can you do it? Can you do Green Hill, Spring Yard, Starlight, Scrap Brain, minus Act 3, then Final Zone? It's a nice half hour of your time. I highly recommend it. I think it's only on Switch, but it might be on Apple, the Sega Ages version. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely on Switch. And however you play the Mega Play version, what a cool thing. It's hip, it's cool, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade.
It's mega.
It's mega, baby.
Whoa. Right. Wasn't that the name of the modem for the Genesis in Japan? Wasn't it called like the Mega Play or something as well? Or it had
name.
It had a mega in the title, I thought. Mega Play is the arcade thing. Mega. God, what was the name of the modem? It doesn't matter. God, I've already ruined it.
Have there been other Mega Play versions of things on NSO or
Mega Modem? That's what it's called. It's very simple.
Mega everything.
Sonic 2 was also there. There were 12 games on Mega Play. Sonic 1 and 2, Streets of Rage 1 and 2, Shinobi 3, Columns 3, Golden Axe 2, Grand Slam, The Tennis Tournament 92, Gunstar Heroes, Mazin Saga Mutant Fighter, Biohazard Battle, and Tecmo World Cup 92. There you go.
That's honestly on par with the Genesis Nintendo Switch Online app. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that's a pretty good offering.
Yeah. So everyone should get Sega Channel and Mega Play and play as Surge in Sonic Rumble. But while we do all of that, Grant, I think you were about to segue us to the next part of our show.
Yes, I could linger and ask you follow-up questions, but I think it's time. It's absolutely time to turn the show over to Bo and the
Rings of Saturn.
This week on the Rings of Saturn home planet, covering the Saturn driving game Andretti Racing. This is a racing game, as you might expect, that involves the Andretti family of racers who were famous in the 90s. This game already has a couple of Easter eggs. You can put in special names to enable special effects. Like if you type in "Go Bears!" ! You can unlock some cars. If you type in "Go Bruins!" ! You can unlock other cars. But then there's some weird ones, like you can do a wireframe mode and you can make the cars kind of distorted and strange looking. But I found 8 more. If you type in some names like Marco and Dave K, you get special pictures of the development staff and maybe their families and maybe people in their office. It's unclear who these people are, but nobody knew about these. They've been hiding out in there since 97, I guess this came out. Interesting little Easter egg. It's also in the PlayStation version with an entirely different set of people. So I'm really curious about, like, how did they go around the office and collect these photos? Is it like, all right, pose, we're going to take your picture for this game and then you can show it to your kids? Or if somebody knows somebody who worked on this game, get in touch. I want to know the logistics of how they made this Easter egg. Leaving the home planet, going out to the Rings of Saturn. Another driving game I took a look at is the PlayStation version of a game called V-Rally 2, which also had names like Need for Speed V-Rally 2 and also Test Drive V-Rally 2. They couldn't decide which series of games that this went with. But the PlayStation one has this cheat code that's been hiding again since the game came out. And you put it in and you get a full other game. It's a Snake clone, the little game I played on a mobile phone where you got a line that you move through and try to pick up dots and try not to run into your tail. So this is a 4-player Snake game on the PlayStation. Needs a multi-tap. It's called Araños, which is French for spiders. So instead of snakes, I think there's supposed to be spiders with a trailing web thing. And it's got power-ups. It's got like high score system. It's really a game you could have bought for, I don't know, the NES or something, and you would have been happy with, this is a game I bought. Hiding out on this disc since forever, and no one knows about it. I'm very curious about it. This one also, if anybody knows anybody who worked on it, get in touch. But cool find. Araños, the snake minigame. It's so fast. Like, I had to play it on emulator slowed down to actually even like make any progress on it. But my son and I played over the weekend, and it's a blast. So grab a friend and a slow computer, and you can have some fun with Araños.
Wow. It's always fun when you find secret games in games.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's not on the Dreamcast version. Sadly, there is a V-Rally 2 for Dreamcast, and it's not on the PC version. So the mystery deepens. Why this version?
Is V-Rally 2 4-player on it? Like, is that main game 4-player? No. Okay, that's even better how dumb it is that the bonus game is 4-player. Like the bonus game needs a multi-tap when the main game does not.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the original version they were programming, and when they realized maybe we're not. I mean, it's like fully formed, right? So you just said it's fast.
It's like an 80s game, though. I think it's overclocked relative to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, and then maybe they were like, oh, we're not going to bother finishing it or doing something else with it. And so it was imported.
My guess, which is based on nothing, is one programmer made this and made it for a computer in the 80s and decided, like, oh, I'm going to stick it in here as a little joke. But that's based on nothing.
Speaking of little jokes that are based on nothing, let's check in with our favorite jokester who's got something to say. It's Barry from SEGA Bits. Barry, what's going on with SEGA Bits?
Hey Sonic Weekly listeners, Barry from SEGA Bits here to catch you up on what's going on at the Sega Talk podcast. On our final episode of the year, we take a look at the indie Sega Genesis game, Tanglewood. How did this game come about? What hurdles did the one-man development team overcome in the creation of the game? And is it one of the best indie Sega Genesis games in the modern era? Find out on the last episode of Sega Talk for 2025. And also, we'll be back at the end of the year for our favorite and most disappointing games of 2025 on the Swing and Report Show Live. Don't miss it. Look it up at segabits.com or search Segabits on your podcatcher of choice. Now back to the Sonic Weekly boys.
Wow. Thank you, Barry. Okay. Here we are in the second part of the show, aka Act 3, where we now turn the attention. I was going to say the Eye of Sauron, but I was like, why? Why that? It's just because the first eye I think of. There's also the CBS eye.
They did just announce that the Lord of the Rings extended whatever's are going to be in theater. Is that maybe why you had it on the brain?
Absolutely not, but thank you for the save.
I'm sorry.
Scotty,
It's me.
How are you?
I'm here. I'm alive. Thinking about Sonic, talking about Sonic. Actually, we barely talked about Sonic so far.
We have not talked about Sonic almost at all.
3D Blast password menu, baby.
That's right.
So naturally, our first question has to be, where does Sonic begin with you? And then, the episode will have Sonic Shuffle in the title. We've already agreed to talk about Sonic Shuffle. You've played Sonic Shuffle. I've played Sonic Shuffle. Mm-hmm. David and Bo have played Sonic Shuffle at various points in our lives.
That's right.
So where does it begin and why does it end with Sonic Shuffle today?
Oh, well, it doesn't end with Sonic Shuffle, although some probably wish that it had. No, for me, though, Sonic, I think I have the average Sonic introduction experience because I was at that ripe age of 6 or 7 when Sonic was all over the place and in my face as much as Sega wanted it to be. So really, 91. Sega, specifically Sonic, was introduced to me by a friend. Shout outs to Tucker. But before that, though, I think my first memory of playing Sonic is in a Blockbuster when they had those couches or a couch set up at a Blockbuster Video in front of a TV. I think it was just to keep the kids calm while the parents actually found movies they wanted to watch. But playing Sonic, I have a vivid memory of eventually playing Sonic 2 and being in my living room because it was out in February, but our Christmas tree was still up. And I remember the Christmas tree falling down as I'm in the final boss battle of the whole game. And I just remember being distracted because I'm so close to the end of this game, but then chaos is happening behind me as my mom and dad are trying to take down the decorations finally in February, which holds true in this house, or it will eventually.
It's a 4D sense around right there.
It was, yeah. It's all, anytime I hear that music, I just think about falling Christmas trees. But then I think by the time I played Sonic 2, I was I think Sonic 3 was the first time I was ready for a game to come out before it came out and excited for it without even reading about it, just from playing things before with friends and stuff. But also that was just, again, I was the right age. I was in the 90s at the right time. That kind of made sense in my brain when I said it. But Sonic 3, because I remember the Happy Meal toys. I remember trying to make it home in time to record Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog because it was on at like 3:00 or something, or maybe 3:30 or something.
Yeah.
Reading the Archie comics. I remember the first comic I ever bought was issue 19, where Sonic dies supposedly from an Eckerd drugstore.
Were you worried about that issue from the cover? Because I was. Like, I could see the preview of it or whatever they had in the previous issue, and I was like, man, they're gonna kill Sonic. This is gonna suck.
Yeah, because it was like this
character.
Big memorial statue thing. Yeah,
right. Even though the statue that Tails builds in the comic is not the same as the one on the cover, because he refuses to believe that Sonic is dead in the story.
That's right. That's right.
Deceptive advertising example. All around.
Yeah,
I had not yet learned about comic covers lying to you.
Yeah, or like the timeline of comic publications or anything. No, that I think for a split second it shocked me, but even my young angsty brain was like, they can't kill Sonic. You know, he's got a new game coming out or something. What's funny though, that same friend that like introduced me to everything, he had relatives in Florida, and I remember he went down to visit them and somehow stumbled upon Sat AM just accidentally, and not knowing really like what the difference was or anything. He of course recorded it off TV as soon as he could onto a VHS, and it was labeled Florida Sonic. So that was Sat AM for a little bit, or eventually it was labeled like Good Sonic, because even as kids, we weren't huge fans of Adventures. I'm sorry. It was too slapsticky. We wanted our cool teen Sonic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. But no, I mean, like Sonic and Sega, I grew up with them because eventually I got the Nomad with 3D Blast. And visited my friend who already had the Saturn. And I do have a fun memory of he would play 3D Blast on his Saturn, and I'd be sitting there next to him with my Nomad, and we were kind of doing like co-op 3D Blast for a fun thing. But no, eventually I got a Saturn, and I've said all throughout the Sonic Weekly Discord how much I love Sonic Jam, and specifically Sonic World, because I just obsessed over running around in that little, like, that was my Mario 64. And I'm not saying that hyperbolically. Like, I loved Sonic World and spend hours in it was the timeline thing. Was it called a museum? I think that like section of it where you could just look at his history and stuff. Does anyone remember what it was actually called?
It is.
Yeah.
You were talking to the curator. I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was so much fun. And just watching, because that was also 96, I think, maybe 95. I forget. I should know this.
Jam comes out in 97.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But that was still when like the public internet was very young. And so you didn't have access to like all those crazy, what I thought were like crazy Japanese commercials and things like that. So that I spent so much time playing Sonic Jam and running around in Sonic World. It was so great. And that, of course, Sonic R, which I unabashedly loved from the get-go and sang its praises as well as its soundtrack since it was released. And then Dreamcast, as well, I'm pointing to things that the audience can't see, but I was ready for the launch of the Dreamcast. I was more than ready. And I begged my parents to let me skip school. That did not happen. Were you the kids that skipped school on your birthday or like just whenever your parents let you? Did you do that at all?
No, my father worked in the school district and was like a real attendance, person who was strict about attendance. Mm-hmm. And I convinced him to let me leave early for the Dreamcast. So.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I left early for the Dreamcast as well. That was a pretty exciting day. I was definitely looking forward to it. Rented it early. Mm-hmm. What you were gesturing toward that the audience can't see is from which store again? It's from
Toys R Us.
From Toys R Us, and it says $99.99. Sega Dreamcast. Sega in the lowercase font that they had, the stylish Sega Dreamcast. Retail $199.99. You could reserve yours with a $10 down payment.
Mm-hmm. Only $10.
Only $10. And then it's got Sonic standing there all attitude.
I did not get out early. I was not allowed to skip. My mother went and bought it in my stead, but I was forced to spend the entire day at school.
Oof. Yeah. I think
sorry.
I am too. I think that like how much I begged and everything, that my dad, at least he picked me up from school and we went straight to Best Buy and I got the console, I got one VMU, I got Sonic Adventure. And I actually still have that bag. It's in the closet. That's not worth risking my life to get into right now. But I still have the Best Buy bag, like in the ridiculous promo stuff they had on it, all plastered on it. But like, I think he saw, as much as I was begging to skip school and everything like that, he's like, clearly this means a lot. So he actually was at Toys R Us and saw that they had that, and you know how you used, or maybe you still do this at GameStops or whatever. He just said like, can I give you my phone number, write it on the back, and I just have it when you're done with it? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. So that is like, I've had that. That's journeyed from house to house with me and everything. It used to fold in half, and it just rips in half now, unfortunately. But no, yeah, that was shout outs to my dad. I'm sure he'll listen to this for getting that for me. But yeah, I guess like the rest of Sonic though. Oh, you mentioned renting it. My buddy Tucker, he rented the 32X. We never really rented the Sega CD, but like did all that stuff. And then I'll like zip through the rest of it because I kind of followed Sonic nonstop. GameCube, Sonic Heroes I thought was meh. Shadow I played once. Gems Collection was awesome. College, I did have the Wii day one. Sonic and the Secret Rings was the first time I almost threw a Wiimote out of anger because I hated that game so much. Actually, it was a combination of things because of like how you use the Wiimote. It almost just flew out of my hand sometimes. So
Right.
But I did get a cold chill hearing that theme song recently and not remembering what it was from. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not being hyperbolic. I heard just 7 rings in hand. And I was like, oh, I don't like what that made my body do. Why is that? And I had to look it up. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't played that game since then. So it was just like, it was crazy. But no, but then like after the Wii, I actually ended up starting to work at GameStop for a while. And I think I only kept up with Sonic because he was on the shelves. Otherwise, I kind of fell out with Unleashed after it took me 45 minutes to get through a werehog level, and I didn't even play 06. I'm sorry. I pre-ordered 06 to get the statue, but I didn't even have a 360 at that time. So we've all been there. I think Sonic and All-Star Racing Transform brought me back, though, and I've been kind of keeping up with Sonic again since then. So
wow,
yeah. And I actually wrote that all down and left out some stuff. So you're welcome. I don't know.
Well, yeah, very parallel to a lot of, just curious on Dreamcast. Do you guys remember you mentioned what your launch day games were? Mine were Sonic Adventure, NFL 2K, and Ready to Rumble. I
That's a good assortment.
I got Soul Calibur, but I don't think I got it on launch day. I don't know if that was a launch game or if that came later.
Yeah, it was.
Then maybe I did get it launch day. I had it I love Soul Calibur.
Did you play it with the fishing rod controller? Pole caliber? Come on.
The only way to play it.
Yeah. But so one thing you're leaving out is Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know
That's
what?
why we're here.
I did have that.
Maybe you don't even want to talk about Shuffle.
I mean, that's, it's fair. But I feel like you had something. You recently played it for a reason.
That's right. You got it.
It was a bet. You lost the bet and had to play it. So
I wish it were that simple. No, I did get Sonic Shuffle though when it came out. I think it probably came out in November, so I think I got it for a Christmas, whatever was around then. And I do remember playing that by myself and not understanding the point of it because I had never touched a Mario Party. And it was just very confusing. I think that was a blind, like, this is Sonic. My parents got me Sonic because I like Sonic. I didn't tell them to get it for me or anything.
Yeah.
But no, the reason the stream happened, the Sonic Shuffle Marathon or Shuffle-a-thon or whatever, we were streaming for Extra Life with some buddies and I. We used to do an annual 24-hour Dreamless Dreamcast Marathon. And I did that for the better part of 8 years. And then all of our bodies kind of said, you should stop doing that for 24 hours. And so we did a 12-hour one this year. And then we did Shuffle on it. We did Shuffle on its own, honestly, because we kind of had a lot of fun playing Shuffle for just an hour of a 12-hour marathon. It's It's weird. We can get into it, but I don't even know where to begin. How do you want to tackle this, Grant?
Well, Sonic Shuffle.
Don't say it a third time. It'll show up.
To me, it was such a disappointment because I was so strongly anticipating it. So like that year 2000, I got it for my birthday along with Power Stone 2.
Oh, wow.
And I expected to like shuffle better because I'm, number one Sonic fan in 100-mile radius where I lived, and really just loved Power Stone 2 a whole lot more. And I think like shuffle is so punishing to you if you're trying to win.
Oh yeah.
That it just like really frustrated me, and I never actually finished it. But I think if you just had a bunch of people and you were not focused on trying to get through the campaign, maybe it would be a lot better. But yeah, I was just sour on it for the beginning.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was a Christmas present, and I think I corralled my younger brother into playing it with me a few times, and I think we both, because we liked Mario Party. We had a Nintendo 64, and so that's why I didn't have a Saturn until adulthood.
Until you woke up.
Yeah, until I finally decided to see what all the hubbub's about. So we liked Mario Party and anticipated liking Sonic Shuffle, and I feel like tried to defend it for like at least a week of just being like, well, I'm still learning it. Like we're getting the hang of it. Some of the mini games have a guitar, and they kind of look cool. I used to think, but now I realize they in fact stink. They look rough. Wow. The cell shaded, I used to be like, oh, it's such a good look for them, but now I don't know if I feel that way anymore. Having recently,
well, it came out a couple of months after Jet Set Radio, which looks awesome, and that was the cell shading is the future moment for me anyway. And I like the look of the models, except for when they open their terrible, awful mouths.
Oh,
I've said this on
man.
the show before. It's horrifying.
Like Sonic's a frog or something.
It probably would have been better if they had made models that were designed with the cell shading in mind. Because it's just the adventure models and they slap cell shading on. It can look strange. Jet Set Radio, that was the idea from the get-go. So it's all about that strong art direction, which I mean, there's some neat art pieces in Shuffle, like when you do event or like, here's a drawing. Look at that drawing. That drawing looks nice.
There is jarringly good artwork throughout the game that has nothing to do with Sonic.
The new characters are interesting.
Lumina looks nice.
Void.
They have their fans. I feel like they're fun, like fan art characters. I feel like I see them more often than you would think.
Void looks like he was meant to be one of the enemies in Bomberman 64, like one of the bosses. It's a very specific reference. So Godspeed to the both of you that got that joke. But the reason for the cell shading, though, it is plot related because they do go into a different dimension. And I want to at least give props to the opening video because it is the most bait and switch thing about this game because it actually looks cool and it's like almost Sonic Heroes-esque of how they're all like joining up. Let's get our buddies. We're running through a cityscape and bouncing off things. And then suddenly there's a blob or something that we have to jump into. And then we're cell shaded. So that's my defense. But did you guys like the intro video? Did it like make you think like, wait a minute, is the same game good? Like if you saw it recently, I should say.
It's I think that intro video is the best part of the game.
Understandable.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It hypes you up, makes you think cards are going to be cool. Like there's that shot where they're all flying around. You're like, oh my god, here we go, cards. I'm into it. I guess because also there was a lot of goodwill from Sonic Adventure. Sonic had been missing. Now Sonic was back, and Sonic is back and better than ever. So they wouldn't put out a game that was less than stellar,
or at least it would be on par with Mario Party. That's what I thought going in, because I played Mario Party with friends, and we had fun with it.
Right.
It's like now it's Sonic flavored.
Right. Reading news articles online, they were even like, oh, some of the Mario Party people are involved. So you just expect it to be Mario Party, but with a Sonic coat of paint.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they did try to do something different. They didn't want it to just be the exact same thing. Might not have worked out the best, but
It's because it's Hudson that did the primary development, right?
I think so.
yeah.
And they've never done anything else Sonic related.
Yeah.
I don't think they did something Sonic before.
Speaking of Bomberman,
Right. They did make Saturn
you go.
Bomberman, which now that's
Man,
the best Bomberman.
that should have put a Sonic coat of paint on Saturn Bomberman. Saturn
Whoa.
Bomberman
Oh my
is great.
gosh. They yeah. You saying that, Bo, it does make me think like they really could have done this with any characters. It didn't have to be Sonic. And I really wish I knew more about the production and like I don't know, their plan for this game.
Did Sega go to Hudson, or did Hudson say like, "Hey, we've got this. Do you want it?"
Right.
Yeah. Do you want this? We don't know what to do with it.
We need to do a deep dive. We need to invite the entire staff of Sonic
Well,
Shuffle onto the cast.
I agree.
It's funny you say that because I've prepared a little game.
Uh-oh.
To have the three of you. So I'm going to give you three options.
Okay.
One of them is not a real mini game in Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So spot the fake. Sonic Slot A, Sing Sonic B, C, Sonic the Thief. Which one's fake?
Wait, so it was Sonic Slot. What was the second
Slot
one?
Sing Thief.
Right.
Mhm.
Sonic.
Yep.
Ooh.
I would say no Sing because it doesn't support the Dreamcast microphone.
Yeah, Bo is right. Bo nailed it.
I was going to say it was B, yeah, because there is the guitar one.
There's
and
no
Sonic
singing.
Slot is like one of the starter things. It's a slot machine thing that I still don't understand. I was going to say this game is meant to be played with friends, even though you only see the story, you only see the plot, you only see like the character engagement in single player. That was its biggest fault, is that or just where it faltered the most, is that you could only see the story playing single player and the computer cheats. So I guess we didn't really explain how you actually play the game. When you start out, you each have, I think it's 6 cards. I could just open the manual and find out, but you have 6 cards that you draw from instead of rolling dice. One cool thing or way they use the VMU is you could see your cards. Only you could see your cards on your VMU. No one else could see them, but you could still take everybody else's card or use someone else's card. So if like the 4 of us were playing, and I know that Bo just used like a 2, 3, and he used his 4, he's got to have a 6 in there, right? So I like steal a card from Bo and use that to move so many spaces. But when you're playing against the computer, they immediately go for your highest cards all the time. And somehow they just know where they are, even though they can't see them. So the computer quite literally cheats in this game.
That's good to know. I feel like it felt like it.
It's true.
That's why
you
you
were
gotta
not losing.
You gotta spam the shuffle button during your turn, because there's a button that shuffles your cards. So if you hit that like nonstop, you might be able to trick the computer while it's trying to cheat.
Proverbial Sonic Shuffle.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's something I always forget you can do, but it is there.
I forget about that too.
Whoops.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the game doesn't exactly tell you.
No, it's very bad at explaining itself.
Yes, it is. It is also. I guess we could mention, hey, there's some load times. We can also mention that, hey, somebody did recompile it, because if the files were in a different order, suddenly it's not as slow anymore. Like it's literally you're ruining your Dreamcast laser. You need to download the reconfigured version where the game's exactly the same but 50% faster loading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shout out to loaders.
Hey, kids today, load time is phone time, so they're fine either way.
Oh, right. Oh.
That's what they say on the. Never mind.
It was already a 2-screen experience, right? A second screen.
Yeah.
So that's what the VMU's for.
There you go. That's where Xbox or somebody got the second screen idea from. This game, Sonic Shuffle. Sega did it first. To try to start to defend myself on why this game is kind of okay. The background, real quick, is there are precious stones in this dream world, and they've been shattered. Sound familiar? By Void, who is I don't even know how to describe, like kind of insect-looking character, and you have to help Lumina, who looks a lot like another flying purple creature in a dream world, but is not Knights. Knights is in this
Except
game
on Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Right. Not on my version, but whatever. But no, you have to get the precious stones back. And for some reason, Robotnik's there. He's not really the cause of the problem. He's just literally there to mess up your day. I sent Grant a screenshot today of the manual, and I could probably find it quicker in Discord, but it says something like, Robotnik is here.
Oh, yeah, I have it. It says, Eggman's role in this game is to ruin your day. Learn to expect him to show up whenever things are going well for you.
Not today, Satan. You know?
What evil invention should I use this time?
Why is he so mean?
I don't know.
He wasn't loved enough as a child, I guess, or held enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The orphanage and
right. They were just kept on talking about Maria so much. He was like, one day I'm gonna be in a dream world and ruin someone's day. Oh.
Well, yeah, the like dream world theme too is you can make that as crazy as you want it to be. So the first level that I think is just called Emerald Coast, but it is a beach, but it's frozen over. And there are trapped dolphins that are not Echo, but they may as well be. There's a flying fish ship thing. And then at the end, you're all surfing for some reason in a big tube that I got nauseous while playing, but that's besides the point. I do want to preface all of this with like playing this game and experiencing this game was all thanks to my friend Nick, who he was adamant that Sonic Shuffle was a good game. But he was also really good at trolling us like constantly. So we thought, it's just Nick being Nick. And at first, during these Dreamcast marathons we did, raising money for a good cause, one of the like donation incentives was if we raise $666, we'll stop everything and play Sonic Shuffle. So we would do that. And we'd play Sonic Shuffle for an hour. And it would be fun because, you know, it's fun on the internet to hate things collectively. So just having Sonic Shuffle troll us and destroy us, even though we were playing technically a cooperative game, Nick would somehow always win and always be the best one at all of these mini games. He would try to explain the mini games, but someone was like, no, rush through the instructions. We're playing WarioWare style. And we're like, okay, this isn't fun, but you said to do it like that. And the mini games, though, don't make sense even when you do read the instructions, at least in my opinion. I'll try to explain one that I still don't fully understand, that I don't remember the name of it. Grant, I know you played recently to do some research for this, so I don't know if you did the one where like it's a dual game, so not everybody's technically playing at the same time. Like I'll say I'm Knuckles and I'm playing against Grant that's Sonic. So on the left side, you would see Knuckles standing facing Sonic on the right side. Both of us are on platforms that are going to rise and fall. Behind us, like the wall in the background, there's a bunch of cards that you have to click on and they have different amounts on them. And so, but if David and Bo are playing with us, they can shuffle those cards in the background, but that's all they can do. They're just there to mess our day up. And the game starts by saying, okay, the player with the highest amount wins. And so it shows you all like a game of memory. It shows you all the cards and then it flips them all over. So you have to remember like, okay, the Robotnik card, that gives you a lot of negative points. So if I want more points, I should throw that over to Grant. And there's a button to throw cards over to Grant. There's a button for me to grab them into my pile. I want a higher score. So you have to click on things and then everybody's shuffling them around and then whatever. And then somehow you lose. That's my experience with the mini games is somehow you lose. And that did any of that make sense for that mini game? Like, does that make any sense?
Yeah. I think
I must have explained it better than the game did then. Because I've never understood it.
High-low?
I could be.
Right. It's like a battle type mini game, right? It's not a 4-player one. It's the 2-player one.
Yeah, it's called
about where they're on the platforms and you go higher or lower depending on if you're winning or losing.
Yes.
It feels like it disrupts the flow because why are we doing this right now? I'd much rather be playing any other thing. It is unfortunate that the game flow, like you can go a long time without doing a mini game at all if you never land on the right space.
Yep.
That's probably one of the other main flaws is just that. Because Mario Party, you're guaranteed a mini game at the end of every round.
Okay.
That
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't, because it's still a video game. You still want to be moving. You want to be moving that joystick and pressing them buttons and going flip flop floop. That's the sound of video game playing, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
Action. You need action.
that right. I'm a 67-year-old man who saw an Atari once. That's what video games are.
Any Conan O'Brien impression of a nerd playing video games. Bleeps and the bloops.
Yeah.
I think they really phoned it in on the zones in this game. You got Emerald Coast,
Right.
Firebird, Nature Zone, Riot Train, and Fourth Dimension Space.
Yeah. And the cutscenes are actually kind of cool. And oh man, I almost feel like I should apologize every time I try to defend this game. But like the Emerald Coast thing, you are in a surfing mini game at the end. So every board ends with a mini game, which is also preempted with the flashing word accident on the screen. It doesn't make any sense. It just says accident, like how you pop this disc in, that was an accident. But like the Firebird level, that story is this world is based on the dreams of those who enjoy flying. I wrote this down from what the intros were, and it's a giant it looks like the egg carrier almost, or it's like reminiscent of that. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but it's actually a phoenix bird that was mechanized for some reason. So the end of it, like the cutscene, it looks like the ship is just on fire, like exploding. But no, that's the phoenix exploding from within, and then it like flies away dramatically. I'm like, this looked pretty cool for being incredibly hokey of a story. Like there's symbolism all over the place, I'm sure. But and like in Jungle Zone, there's big pillars that are destroying the forest. Riot Train, I think it's just a train that's going too fast, or it's like on the wrong track or something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty much. But all of them have ending mini games. Like the Jungle Zone is basically a backwards Crash Bandicoot. You're running up into the fog and trying to dodge things. The Riot Train, you're all trying to stop the train. I don't remember what the Firebirds mini game is. But there's so much insane potential with this game because they tried so much with it. And the fourth dimension, or the fifth,
Fourth Dimension is the last one.
The fourth dimension, which is the fifth level of the game, is the board is not a flat board any longer. You're actually within a sphere, like you're playing on the inside of a sphere. So the camera, it looks bizarre, but it's such a interesting idea that they had to have your characters moving within inside a globe, basically, for this final level. It looks just like you're just floating in space by the time it's all going and flowing and everything. But just between the mini games and like there are random visual novels for some mini games. There's everybody's trying to not get eaten by alligators at some point. You're avoiding crabs on a beach. It's just all over the place because it's in this dreamscape. And I never knew that because I never touched the campaign until my buddy Nick was like, basically convinced me that this game had so much potential. And it does. And I think its biggest downfall is that A, there was never online play, just for the sake of the Dreamcast community bringing it back now. And B, it flopped so hard that there wasn't a sequel where they could have made it good and improved on everything they were trying so hard at. Like I can't emphasize enough, preach enough, play this with friends, do not play the campaign. But if you get far enough in the campaign, you can unlock just playing the mini games in the Sonic room.
That's where Sonic lives. That's where Sonic lives. I do feel like I want to put some brief spotlight on Lumina Flowlight, who's the character that I was that kind of looks a little bit like Knights, a fairy that lives in the imaginary world. She guides Sonic and the others on their adventure and is the good guy counterpart to Void, who we talked a little bit about. But Lumina Flowlight is the one that I feel like has there's people that want that character to, return in the comics, or
should at least be in Rumble,
and also what was the Apple game that took place in a dream? Dream Team.
Yeah, Sonic Dream Team. Another dream related thing that had nothing to do with Knights. Sorry.
Right. It's part of the extended Dream universe.
There you go.
Yeah, no, there's something to it. Right. Smoovies, friend of the show, editor at times. He did have a dream theory that he talks about. one of the Sonic Dream Team episodes on FTCR. I don't remember the details offhand, so I'm giving the listeners homework to watch something else.
We'll bring Smoovies back. And
you can talk about
updated.
It's actually, I thought it was neat the way that he
gosh.
tried to map out Nightopia and the other places. I can't think of what
Imaginary World.
Imaginary World and the Dream Team World,
Wherever
whatever
Dream
that's
Team
called.
takes place.
Right, it's like a.
Dreamland.
But
Today, you guys play Dream Team?
Yes.
You got the free trial
Okay,
for Apple
same
Arcade.
here.
Played it, beat it.
I really
and-
enjoyed it.
No, did I even beat it?
There's a lot to it to consider it being beaten because it's very much a mobile game at heart. But,
Right, because now I know there's more stuff, and there's Shadow now and new levels. It's like I haven't gone back to play any of the new stuff, but
It sure would be nice if they brought it to other platforms, particularly consoles.
mhm.
100%.
That sure would be nice, but that's true of so many Sonic games.
Right.
Mhm.
That's why you're
too
happy
many.
Rumbles on Steam.
Yes, and why
Play
I'm
today.
sad that there's no conceivable path for Sonic Shuffle to be re-released by
I don't
Sega.
think so.
That seems really unlikely. However, a return to a mini game, with online and that sort of draws some inspiration or brings back Lumina or Void or aspects of Sonic Shuffle. A mini game Sonic game would be great.
Mhm.
That's a good idea. They should go back to that if nothing else. Lumina should be in the comics, and there should be crossovers with Knights and all of the Dream Teams.
Right. What's her name? Ari? Was that it?
Oh, isn't it REM?
Yeah.
REM.
REM.
Yes, it's REM.
Oh,
Right.
there you
Ari's the Ram from Sad AM.
Well, I always get confused with Griff, the other alternate Freedom Fighter team.
Oh yeah, they're hanging
Yeah,
out.
right.
Griff is only in one episode. Ari gets like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
David, we are massively out of time, and I'm going to
We
figure
are.
out a way for us to wrap up. But I'm just remembering we forgot to talk about the Scott Shaw book.
we did. We did.
Let's
We
save that
made
for the
you
next
run
one.
back, grab it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess we might have to save that then for the new
Yeah,
year.
save that one.
Yeah, wait for a less confusing episode when you don't have a guest with the same name on.
All right. Oh man. Right. Well, yeah, we'll talk about Scott Shaw's Sonic Days next time after the break, because we will. Well, I guess we're not around next week because of Christmas. Are we going to record for New Year's? We don't know, because we'll talk about that off air. So we're leaving you, the viewer, in a dramatic cliffhanger.
You are, oh man, I can't tell if you're like the worst storyteller or the best tease in the world.
We'll be back. We will return. Sonic Weekly will return as the credits roll.
That's right.
It's like James
In fact,
Bond or
maybe what we'll do is that we'll be off for 4 weeks, and every week we'll release a minute teaser that doesn't tell you anything that's going to happen, and then
yeah.
Teaser of a teaser, like
Right.
Rockstar Studios style.
and there'll be exactly.
Can I ask, did I convince anyone to give Sonic Shuffle another shot, or like the old college try at all?
In my heart, I knew this, but you're right. Outside of the campaign, it's fine. Like,
Mhm.
if you're playing multiplayer with friends, yeah, shuffle it up. But yeah, stay away from single player mode. It's not fun.
And I
Yeah.
guess it's not easy to 4 controllers, Dreamcast,
Yeah,
3
Mhm.
people willing.
that's the hardest part. Wait, has anyone here? Well, 'cause
Anything
you-
would be fun, I think, with
Right. Oh, I was going to say, has anyone done 4-player in person on an actual Dreamcast here?
For Shuffle, no.
I don't think
For
so.
one of the NBA Jam lookalikes we did back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, I've done plenty of 4-player like Dreamcast stuff, but not Shuffle.
Not Shuffle, not it. Okay.
No. Yeah. No. I will say
Somebody's got the Mad Catz controller. Somebody's
Yeah.
got
Right. I did
somebody
it
stuck with the
once.
fishing rod.
yeah.
I did it once in a
You
hotel
did it
Sonic
once?
room.
Shuffle?
Yeah, I did it.
Wow.
I did it. That sounds wrong. I did it right. We played Sonic Shuffle, 4-player Sonic Shuffle in a
person.
hotel in person. It was during a Sonic and Sega fan jam, and it was a year that
Oh.
Aaron Weber was there, and he was dragged in and played a round or two. So it was right. It was my Dreamcast, and I almost and I had a completed save file that I didn't do, but it was
Nice.
on the VMU, and I almost deleted it while trying to load it because I didn't understand the menus of Sonic Shuffle. And everyone, and like a couple people in the room screamed at me when I was about to delete it because that would have spelled disaster.
Thrown you out the window right there.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I forgot to mention the unlockable characters. You can play as E102 Gamma, a single Chow, and Big the Cat, and Supersonic.
That's it. Yeah. I feel like we could go on forever and ever.
Yeah, we could, but we have to at least arbitrarily wrap it up because it's getting late for everybody. So I think we've given plenty of thoughts on everything, but any last wrap up on Sonic Shuffle, i.e. anything, Bo, in particular?
No, I feel you should stay away from campaign mode, as we said. Grab some friends, grab some neighbors off the street.
Just tackle.
See if they'll come to imaginary world with you.
Don't phrase it like that. If they're
Hey guys, you want to go to imaginary world?
Pull up in your van.
Between you grabbing random people and David in a hotel doing it.
Yeah, it's a sleazy shuffle sometimes, but it's Sonic Shuffle nonetheless, and we love him somehow.
Well, I hope everyone can give it a shot at some point. I recommend Redream. I won't say what that is or where you find it, but that's a good way to play it.
Well, with that, I think we're shuffling off to the end, aren't we?
Yes. Scotty, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us in your impassioned plea to play video games with friends. I think that's my takeaway from it. Playing video games with friends, that sounds good. An online version of Sonic Shuffle that I could play officially released would be so cool. Or a Sonic minigame or whatever. Playing video games, whatever, is great. David?
Yeah. Whoa, yeah, that's right. You hear those sounds? You hear that musical accompaniment that we've stolen from Sega? That means it is the end. We've
Sorry. I've never seen this in action. You shot up.
That's right. I woke up. I'm like, oh, I forgot. We're recording a show and it's the end. Because I have to read the ending with excitement and enthusiasm. Because we gotta leave everyone
when
wanting...
you're here, you get to see that David's doing it at gunpoint.
Yeah. That's right. You get to see me go like, whoa, hey, what's going on? That's right. We have shuffled off to the end of another episode of Sonic Weekly. That's right. Once every 7 days or so for the show. And if you've enjoyed what you've heard, first time, second time, 100th time, who's keeping count? And you haven't done so already, we urge you to subscribe to this podcast using your podcatcher of choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or for the Android faithful, Podcast Addict. Give us a rating, give us a review, do whatever happens in the app that you are using. But if you reject all podcatchers, and don't blame you if you do, we are also over on YouTube at Sonic-Weekly. You can like, comment, subscribe, and our audio is joined, as always, with gameplay footage recorded by friend of the show, Jack of Old Games.
I'm sorry, Jack, you have to play Sonic Shuffle now.
You can never escape it. Hey, you want to reach out to the show? Send us an email, sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We have a mailbag section, and it's the only way to get a link to our Discord server. Ask for it. We'll send it off. And soon enough, you'll be talking to some like-minded Sonic the Hedgehog fans about many things up to and including Sonic T. Hedgehog. Hey, if you're able to, we're also on Ko-fi. That's right. You can throw something in the tip jar, or for $5 a month, you become one of our executive producers, just like PigDan, Pabsy, Sonikku, SavingThrows, Belgarion, Ratliker, 63, Dr. Hate, PhD, Sertoo, and Butterbeerhawk. I am now required by law to say you're all exceptionally smart, talented, and we all think you're really keen. And if you want me to praise you, hey, go ahead.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do it. It helps offset the costs of hosting and production on this show. But, if you're not able to, that's perfectly fine. We're just happy that you're here. And hey, tell your buddies. They're all welcome. Once again, yes, thank you, Scotty, for joining us. Whoa! Talking about Sonic. Gotta thank Altsynth for the edit, right? Yes. Gotta thank Smoovies for that Rings of Saturn jingle, right? We're thinking, I never thank SEGA for the music, but you know what's SEGA ever done for us? And
besides froth at the mouth.
Right. And of course, gotta thank Bo. He's already in orbit right now. And hey, thank you, Grant, for purchasing Scott Shaw Sonic Days because someone had to.
Yep, and I did it. I did it.
You did it.
And we have mailbag things to get to, but it'll have to wait until we return.
All right.
Who knows when that'll be?
It'll be sooner than you think.
Exit. Yeah, it'll be sooner than
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year if we're not back before then. And hey, what's 2026 have in store? Right.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Santa.
To quote the end of Sonic Shuffle, probably Lumina said this: emptiness does not conquer dreams. Dreams conquer the emptiness.